And we are back. Welcome to the Disney Dudes podcast. I am Disney Dude Taylor, and alongside of me is my co-host, Disney Dude Abbott. Abbott, who do we have tonight?
We have the one and only Brian Trax, and my track to meeting Brian is a little out of the ordinary, but Brian, honestly, thank you for being on the podcast. Thanks for joining us. You are an extra special guest. You are an official Hall of Famer. We appreciate you being with us. Brian, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to kind of hang with you guys tonight and chat it up.
All right, even better. Well, we were talking pre-show and kind of giving Taylor a little bit of a background. And I mentioned meeting you and your partner at Jollywood Nights, the initial Jollywood Nights. And we definitely had our points of contention. And that's a long... long-winded.
When we met, we were already a little wet from the rain. Yes. I think by the time that we met, because it rained quite a bit that night.
Oh gosh. Well, at least we met under the right pretenses at a Baseline Tap House at Hollywood Studios.
Yes, absolutely. That's one of my favorite spots in the studios is Baseline.
Oh, and we did a VIP tour with Taylor. What was that? Year ago? Almost a year ago.
Yeah, about a year ago.
Yeah, year ago in April. And
who was your tour guide?
Who do we have?
We had Ashley.
Okay. I know a couple of them. We went on a VIP tour last year. We had Seth, but there's so many tour guides. But I know a few of them, so I just thought, well, maybe I might know who your guide was.
We've had Ashley, we've had DeQuinn,
I know DeQuinn.
You know DeQuinn?
Yeah.
DeQuinn's awesome. And we've had Aussie Dave.
I don't know Aussie Dave.
He doesn't work for Disney anymore.
Got it.
But, DeQuinn was awesome.
Yeah, so I know DeQuinn through a friend, so I don't know him through VIP tours, but I know him through a friend, so that's how I know DeQuinn. So very cool.
But yeah, but given all that, Brian, we have been doing this podcast about 2.5 years, and as you can see, people are beating down the door to be on the podcast. People are just, I'm telling you, like, we're off the charts. We're on like a list that my daughter made, and we're number one. No one else comes before us or after us. So no, honestly, we've been going at it for a little while. And of course, obviously, we kind of painted ourselves in a corner, kind of limited our purview, so to speak, with being the Disney Dudes podcast.
Yeah, but Disney in the name. Yeah,
Disney in the name. Yeah, we kind of screwed ourselves. And we kind of went, well, what? You never know, rebranding.
Did we do, we've talked about a bunch of things, but
yeah. But
I like the Disney Dudes. I mean, I think nowadays Disney, that word, whether they like it or not, it encompasses more than that. So
exactly.
You're good.
It's now that we have the Simpsons, we are good. So we can do all the fart jokes that we want. Eat my shorts, whatever you call it. Fade back in the bushes memes. I mean, that's pretty much who we are. But outside of memes and, critiquing Disney rides, my top 10 favorite air-conditioned dark ride, the latest change to the Haunted Mansion, multiverse, whatever. What is there to do outside of Disney, outside of the bubble? What do I do? Like, I've spent so much money at Disney. Where do I need to turn next? Where do I pivot?
All right, so that's why I'm here tonight. I was thinking a few days ago, I was like, this is kind of like back to my concierge days, because I was a concierge at Disney's Polynesian Resort for about 2-3 years. So that was a fun job. And so I'm going back to my concierge days here. And actually my content, on Instagram, TikTok, wherever, at Brian Trax, that's what I do. I kind of like show people what to do. I started in the parks and started showing people the parks during the pandemic when the parks were opening back up, and that's how I got my start. But there's so much more to Central Florida. So I prepared for today. So you got a full list of stuff. Some of it is kind of activities. Some of it is food. You guys are foodies, right?
Oh, don't get me wrong.
So,
oh yeah.
And so for this, I try not to go too far away from the bubble, just to keep it like approachable. There's a couple things. Probably the first one is the furthest away. But let's break down this list. I'm going to hit the share button here.
Okay.
So you guys do this as a video, right? Podcast.
Video. We are video and audio. We are
amazing.
Everything.
So if your audience is listening on a podcast app, they could go to YouTube, right, and see the visuals. So
absolutely.
Here we go with my visuals. So the first one I want to talk about, I've hopefully given some information that will be helpful as well. So this first one is Winter Park Scenic Boat Tour. Have you guys ever been to Winter Park?
I have
not. About Winter Park?
No.
All right.
I've heard about Winter Park from a real estate standpoint. At least it's a little bit pricier from what I hear.
Correct.
But yes.
Correct. It's just north of Orlando, downtown Orlando. So this is the furthest away. And what I've done for all of these recommendations is I put Magic Kingdom as kind of the spot. Like, how far is it from the Magic Kingdom? So this one is 30 miles, and this is the Scenic Boat Tour in Winter Park. This has been going on since 1938, if you can believe it. Oh, wow. They operate 7 days a week. The only day that the Scenic Boat Tour is not running is on Christmas Day. Outside of that, I'm sure they closed down in a hurricane, obviously, or torrential rain in the afternoon. But you can count on it that this is going to be open as long as there's not severe weather in the area. But this is really cool because it takes you, there's a chain of lakes in Winter Park, and it takes you through several of those lakes. You go by Mr. Rogers' house, because Mr. Roger went to university here. I think he went to Rollins. And so the house that he lived in when he was studying here in Central Florida, you go by that. I think you go by a few other like celebrity houses, and your tour guide is going to tell you kind of about the history of Winter Park and the chain of lakes. It's a very family-friendly thing to do. And then I didn't put any Winter Park restaurants here, but there's tons of restaurants. You could do a brunch down in Winter Park and then go on the boat tour. Highly recommend this. Of course, it's best to do this the time of year that we're talking right now, like those winter months, because as you can see the visuals, those boats have no awnings over them, so it gets pretty hot. So
I can imagine.
Yeah, so definitely, and just Winter Park in general, you should definitely check out Winter Park. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And the one key word that I see here, easy, because I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but I see inexpensive. I like that.
Yeah, so it's about I think it used to be even cheaper, but now it's about $15 a person.
Wow.
So it's really not bad. You're going to be out there for about an hour. So
bang for the buck. Wow, you talk about value, the experience alone.
No reservations. It's first come, first serve, unless you have a group and you're going to take up a whole boat.
Sure.
They do take advanced group reservations, but outside of that, there's no reservations. You just look up the address.
Wow.
Look up their website. It's scenicboattours.com. And you can find more information. But I highly recommend. And I can't believe that it's been going on since 1938.
See, that makes me think about Legoland Orlando.
Yeah, which used to be Cypress Gardens.
Exactly. It kind of makes me think about that. It's something that the history, and what I like about at least Legoland, and here I go, bringing it back to the theme parks. I want to talk about Disney only. Stop it, Brian. Stop pushing things outside of Disney. No, outside of the lame jokes. It just reminds me of that. If you have something organic and something before the Florida project, that's amazing. And it stood the test of time. Wow.
Absolutely.
That's so
it's
cool.
It's a beautiful community. Like, really, it kind of gives you that sense of, okay, what is Central Florida? What is it outside of the parks? And this is it right here, because I mean, this was long before the parks.
So cool.
All right. So the next one, we're coming closer to home. Have you guys heard of the Citrus Tower in Claremont?
I have. Yes,
No.
I have.
Okay.
Yes.
Taylor has not heard about it. So I have just recently heard that there's actually multiple Citrus Towers, but this is the one I know about, and it's in Claremont. This was started back in 1956, so before Disney, before the Florida Project, when it was all orange groves. This was literally a way to get up there and just look at the expanse of orange groves. And it was basically a roadside attraction off of Highway 27. I think that this has had some downtime. I don't think it's been operating. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know if it's been operating since 1956. Probably within the last 15 years, I think they've made a few updates. There's a cafe on the first level, and then you take an elevator up. I'm not sure how many floors it is, but I have been up there.
Oh, wow.
And it's pretty cool. You can see the attractions area. You can see all the way to downtown Orlando.
Wow.
And this is about 20 miles from the Magic Kingdom.
I mean, I know that Central Florida is flat, but still, 20 miles from Magic Kingdom, you can still see that 360 panoramic view is, yet again, bang for the buck. I don't see inexpensive, Brian. I don't see inexpensive.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
So I don't know. There is a cost, but my guess is I think it's inexpensive.
I was about to say anything compared to a coffee at Joffrey's is going to be inexpensive, especially if they don't have a large. Anything compared to the venti at Starbucks, that's bang for the buck. That's awesome.
Definitely. Yeah. So, and then the other thing is you can buy, like locals, you can buy a pass, and they kind of treat the top of the tower. They have like desks and places where you could like sit and like, I guess remote work if you really wanted to. So.
Okay.
Anyway, just part of Central Florida history here. And it's a reminder that, the land that the Florida Project was a lot of citrus and orange groves.
So cool.
Which I always find interesting, the connection between Disneyland being, former orange groves and in Orange County, and Walt Disney World also being in Orange County. I always kind of think that that's really interesting and kind of ironic.
That is an ironic correlation. That is cool.
All right, moving along. So this one you might have seen, maybe. Have you guys seen this one? I don't know if you get down to 192 at all. This is Orange World.
The infamous 192. Yet again, and also the Florida, the documentary, The Florida Project.
So
I think this is featured in that.
I have not seen the Florida Project. I also have not been inside of Orange World. And I've been wanting to do content on it because I haven't been.
I can't claim that I've been, but I've seen a couple of YouTube videos on it, and I think it recently burned. I think they just came back from renovating, from refurbishing.
When I was doing a little research, I think I did see that they had to refurbish a little bit. Yeah. So this started as a gas station back in 1971, but the orange didn't come into play until a few years later. So for those who are listening, this is like a dome-shaped, like half a sphere, the color orange, that's basically representing an orange. So
it looks like you split an orange in half.
Yeah, exactly. And I've never I've been around kind of for about 20 years, off and on in Central Florida, and I've, passed by a lot. I just never had the desire to really step in, probably until I started creating content. And I just haven't taken the time to go over and check it out, but it's definitely on my list.
Well, Brian, I'll tell you this, and I make an assumption here that you have heard of, passed through anything. Now, I don't mind telling you, I am in the upstate of South Carolina, but where I'm from is probably 40 minutes-ish, about an hour away from south of the border. I
Yeah.
can't
Oh,
help but
I've
think.
driven
There
by.
you go. Yep. I get south of the border vibes from Orange World. I'm sorry.
100%.
You know what else?
What's that?
The Big Peach in Gaffney.
Oh, the Peachzoid, yes, off Interstate 85.
Yes.
Here is a giant peach water tower. Just
Okay.
yet again, and where I'm living, where I'm from, we are known for our peaches. We actually produce more peaches than the state of Georgia. Our
Really?
one
Wow.
area, our two-county this little pocket between Spartanburg County and Cherokee County, we're on the North Carolina border and the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. Yeah, we make more. And actually, I'm biased
Interesting.
that from what I hear is the pH in the soil or the red clay, so to speak, gives it a sweeter flavor. I can't confirm or deny that claim, but at the same time, yeah, Georgia can, suck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. Suck it hard. But no, Orange World, I know it's classic,
That is
and
south
you can
border vibes.
kind of eclectic from what I've seen on at least it's more of, is it a convenience store or kind of a market?
You know what? I got to go in there and I'll report back because I'm guessing that's what. And so for me, it's like 192 has a lot of like that south of the border with there's one building that has the mermaid, or the wizard extending his hands and it's giant.
Oh, that's cool.
And you always, so one of my friends says, where do you go to order one of those things for your building?
Yes.
Like, how do you order that? So for me, like 192 has always kind of been that that vibe. I know they're trying to have like a resurgence of 192 and make it better and make it more attractive for today's tourists. But I don't know, there's something about Orange World now, knowing that it opened basically the same year as Magic Kingdom. I kind of want to go in, just check it out, and I'm just curious to see. My guess is that it's mostly a gift shop at this point.
I imagine.
So
and if you can't buy an orange, then that's just blasphemy.
Yeah, you better be able to buy.
You better be able, at least one.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're gonna keep on the theme of citrus. So we're back behind Magic Kingdom now. This is about 20 miles from Magic Kingdom. We're at the Showcase of Citrus. And Abbott, I don't have the prices for you. I'm sorry.
I
don't have the prices. But
my frugal heart, it is crushed.
But since 1989, this family has been operating this roadside attraction. Basically, it's off of 27. They say, I've been here before, but I don't remember them marketing their creamsicles as hard as they seem to be marketing their creamsicles now. Wow. Are you guys fans of creamsicles?
100%. It is that subtle orange sweetness. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, with the vanilla. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like that milky kind of vanilla. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they put you on basically a school bus that's been transformed into, I don't know, how would you describe that? I don't even know how
I would say monster truck. That is a monster truck. That is the Undertaker / Beefeater. Like, I'm just trying to think of the classic, rural, whatever, South Monster Jam vibes that I'm seeing from this. But that I feel like that we need to be crushing cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So what they do here is they just take you around their property and they kind of show you. You get a mix of farm and you get a mix of kind of natural Florida landscape. So really and cool. They also have you pick citrus. So during the right season, you can go and pick your own citrus.
See, I mean, yet again, I assume you didn't state it, but no, I assume that this is yet again bang for the buck. Anything outside of Disney is going to be bang for the buck. It's the value's there, but the fact, yet again, family friendly, and you can pick your own fruit. And people that are from, copy paste, Canada, Ohio, anywhere, Midwest, Northeast, and this is their one trip every how many years? 5 years? 3? This is their once in a lifetime kind of situation. They're going to shell out big time money. Yeah, this is the thrill of a lifetime. The fact that they're in it's January, February, March, and it's high 70s, low 80s. I can't believe it. We've got to savor this, take a picture. Where's the postcard? How do I send it to myself from this location to document the situation?
Let me pose in front of Miss Fritter.
Exactly. Everything.
So we're going to continue on
Yes.
the same vein of doing farm stuff.
I like this one already.
This is about 12 miles from Magic Kingdom, another family-owned property. This is truly a gem. In fact, I went here a few weekends ago, and I was so impressed. So this is Southern Hill Farms, and they are a family-owned farm. It's a you-pick farm. So right now, strawberries are in season, so you can take a trip just a few miles away from Magic Kingdom, and you can do you-pick. Or if you choose that you don't want to be in the fields picking, they do have picked for you. And they also have, I mean, I don't have the picture of it here, but they have a huge, like, open air structure with food trucks. They have carnival rides. The pathway up to the farm from the parking lot is paved with brick, and it's really quite something. I went for the first time in 2016, and I hadn't been since. And when I visited a few weekends ago, the amount of really expansion that they had done, just fantastic. So one of the reasons why I was kind of sparked my interest to go is we had a media dinner over at Haleo at Disney Springs. And Haleo has a strawberry festival menu, a limited time menu. I think it's going on for a few more days. Until sometime in the middle of March. And so the farm that is supplying those strawberries to Haleo at Disney Springs is Southern Hill Farms. So I had the opportunity to go have dinner at Haleo and meet the owners, Lisa and David, which if you're watching on YouTube, you see them pictured there. The nicest couple. So this is probably, of all of these things that we just talked about, this is like my top thing. It's not a far drive from Walt Disney World, and this is like really supporting local and supporting Central Florida. And this is kind of like Central Florida agricultural family stuff at its best.
That's awesome. That's perfect. And yet again, 12 miles. And it makes me think, like, did you spot that from the last time you went to the Citrus Tower and went, I have to get back there?
There you go. Right.
You might as well have. No, that's awesome. We have a lot of that, at least around, and I'm sure where Taylor lives. Taylor's located in Virginia, kind of south central, southeastern Virginia.
More southern, but southern central. But this is called a berry farm where we're at. Good old fashioned berry farm. You go and you pick, and
they even have carnival rides now. Like they really have nuts. They have taken it up another level. And then of course they have I think they do pumpkin stuff. They have sunflowers right now. So, and then blueberries is kind of, I think, really where they, like you said, Taylor, berries, they really kind of got rooted into this with blueberries. So anyway, very cool. Definitely add this to your list. And they've been going at it. They started actually in about 2000 is when they started, and they were doing like they were growing landscaping, like trees for landscaping, stuff like that for landscaping. And then they switched over more to tourism and started to open up the farm back in 2014. So,
wow.
All right, so we're going to get into stuff a little bit closer now to property, and some of it is even on Walt Disney World property, and I'm curious to see how much of this you guys have done, if you're knowledgeable about some of this stuff. So we're going to start.
No pressure.
We're going to start with the Four Seasons. Have you guys visited the Four Seasons before? No.
Is it right there on Bonnet Creek? Is it that direction?
So man, you guys don't know. You really don't know.
I don't. I know nothing.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad I'm bringing this to the pod. I'm glad that I'm educating you guys. All right. So you guys know what Golden Oak is?
Yes.
Okay. So in order to get to the Four Seasons, you have to go through the gates of Golden Oak.
Oh, wow.
So when you head over to the Four Seasons, you will be going through the Golden Oak gates and the Golden Oak security. And I recommend when you go to Four Seasons, you want to have some kind of purpose for going. So like a reservation to a restaurant or to the spa. And you will let the Golden Oak security guard know where you're headed, and he'll give you direction. Valet parking only at the Four Seasons, no self-parking. Or of course, you could also Uber or I guess minivan it. I don't think there's no other transportation really other than Ubering.
Sure.
So there's no Disney bus that goes in, but this is technically on Disney property.
Okay.
So there is, why would you go here? So they have Kappa, which is their rooftop restaurant. This is Michelin starred. So this is one of the first Michelin starred restaurants in Central Florida.
Oh, wow.
It is Spanish tapas, or Spanish food inspired. Then you have Ravello, which also has a character dining, which we're going to talk about shortly. Yes. They have seasonal afternoon tea. So if you are interested in afternoon tea, they have it seasonally here. So I know some of us who enjoy afternoon tea miss the Grand Floridian afternoon tea. I don't know if you guys ever experienced that. Grand Floridian used to have afternoon tea. It doesn't anymore. Cake Bake Shop brought it back, but there's other options for afternoon tea around property. So if you have little ones that you want to take to afternoon tea, this is an option. Or, it's a great option if your wife and daughter, whatever, want to go and do afternoon tea and the guys want to do something else.
Oh, yeah.
That's another great option. You guys can kind of split up that way. But
cool.
They also have a spa. So this is great as when the kids are gone and you have time to come to Walt Disney World without the kids and you want to hit up the spa, they have a spa. This is 12 miles from the Magic Kingdom. 12 miles sounds very far, but it is not that far. In fact, I almost wonder if I did not edit that properly, because this is very close to the Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
It's just past Fort Wilderness. So it's along the road.
Be right there.
Yeah, I think I maybe miswrote that 12 miles and I did not update that. So let's talk a little bit about character dining. So they do have character dining here. It's a good morning breakfast with Goofy and his pals. It's at Ravello, and it's on Thursdays, Saturdays, and select Tuesdays from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. So anyone can book this. You can book this on Open Table. You can book it on. I don't think you're going to be booking it on the Walt Disney World app. You're going to book it on Open Table.
Okay.
But because there's such a close relationship between Four Seasons, it being within Golden Oak and Disney, they do have a character breakfast. It's not happening every day, but they do have it. So
wow.
I haven't been to it personally. I've been to Ravello. They have a great breakfast at Ravello. It's one of the best breakfast buffets in town. So even if you're not going there for character breakfast, you could still go to Ravello and have a great breakfast buffet.
That sounds great. Wow.
So you're kind of getting, a nice escape. It's like an escape within your vacation, because you're headed to the Four Seasons.
And I just looked, and it says anywhere from $31 to $50 a person. That's not bad compared to other.
And you're talking about being like one of the top breakfast buffets, or just quality of food in general.
Yeah.
Bang for the buck there. Wow.
Yeah, your quality of food at the Four Seasons is going to be way better than Chef Mickey's. Way better.
I still have PTSD the last time we went. So that's
man, it's been a long time. Yeah. Yeah, definitely add this to your list. I know you guys have some trips coming up.
Yes.
And so I would say 100% you need to add Ravello. Bite the bullet and do an Uber ride over here. If you have to. And it's very close to, if you want to position yourself closer in terms of Uber, it's really close to Riverside and French Quarter.
Okay.
Ooh, very
so
nice.
It's like right down the road from Riverside and French Quarter.
Wow.
And then on top of all that, we can look at the Golden Oak.
You can drive through. Now there's gates within gates at Golden Oak. So when you go through the main gate, you can't really explore because each of the neighborhoods in Golden Oak has its own gate.
I can imagine. I can imagine based on just the base price point.
Yeah.
Yikes. How many kidneys and or internal organs can I give up, which would not be enough?
Well, you know, when Golden Oak opened, you could get $1 Million House in there. Now, imagine now. I mean, not anymore, obviously.
Wow.
So, all right. So we're staying. You'll see a trend here now. We've gone from like the farm stuff, and now we're kind of into luxury because
I like it.
You know, we like to be a little bit versatile. From
you.
Farms and roadside attractions to luxury. So, have you guys ever been to the Waldorf Astoria or the Signia by Hilton, Orlando?
Haven't. I've been to a couple of Waldorf Astoria properties, one in the Caribbean, but beyond that, that's pretty much it.
So this property is surrounded by Walt Disney World property on 3 sides.
Oh.
It's within the Bonnet Creek area. It's technically not Disney property, but like I said, surrounded by Disney property on 3 sides.
Nice.
And then the other side is bordered by I-4. So you're kind of, you have to drive through Walt Disney World to get to Bonnet Creek.
Okay.
And during the sale of land, the owner held on to it and never let go, and Disney was not happy about that. And of course the relationship now is mended. They have a pretty good relationship with Disney now. They're good neighbor hotels. So why would you come here? They have Bull and Bear, which Bull and Bear is also in their Waldorf. I don't know how many Waldorf Astorias have a restaurant branded as Bull and Bear, but I know the New York, which New York Waldorf Astoria has gone under renovation for the last like 5-6 years in New York City, which is where Waldorf Astoria was established. And they're opening this spring. I think they should be opening next month.
Oh, wow.
That location in New York City has a Bull and Bear. So the Orlando one here has a Bull and Bear. Bull and Bear, if you're looking for a steakhouse and you're looking for a special occasion, is like out of this world. So I don't know why Bull and Bear doesn't have a Michelin star. It's not even in the guidebook. I don't know why, but Bull and Bear is next level. So Bull and Bear, you could take the family, but it's much more for date night.
Yeah, I get it. So you're saying they have a kids menu with chicken nuggets? Are the chicken nuggets shaped like dinosaurs?
Bull and Bear.
Bulls and bears? I mean,
Bulls and Bears.
Bulls and Bears.
Bulls and Bears. Actually, you know, you talk about chicken, but the Bull and Bear fried chicken is famous. I have not had it, but I hear that it is very good.
Oh, wow.
So you were joking there, Abbott, but supposedly the fried chicken is really good.
Hey, and I'm sure I can shape it into whatever I want when I get it on my plate.
Talking about other fried chicken sandwiches, or just like fried chicken sandwich. You know which one used to be famous? The high voltage one at Edison. Now it's not.
Really?
I'm still bitter about that.
It was called the high voltage, like that was the name of the sandwich?
The high voltage, yeah. It's still the high voltage, but they've changed it.
Oh, gotcha.
For the worse.
Yeah.
So what do they do? What do they do to it?
It had a Korean barbecue glaze on it to begin with. And it was good. And then they changed it and put jalapeno and a jalapeno aioli on it. And it made it
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
R.I.P. R.I.P. So the other restaurant here is La Luce. It's an Italian spot. Very good as well. They have afternoon tea at Bull and Bear as well on the weekends. So not every day, but on the weekends. And then they have a spa as well. This property, both the Waldorf and the Signia, 2 towers, and then they're connected by a convention center. This is a big convention property. They have just gone through renovation on both sides. So both the Waldorf and Signia have had recent renovations. Beautiful property. Signia side has a lazy river at their pool, a really nice resort style pool. This is another option for like if you're looking for a more like luxe place to stay, you're looking for a deluxe style property, this can be more affordable than saying Disney Deluxe, but you're getting probably more amenities than
Oh, wow.
the Disney property.
Mhm.
So 7 miles, it's basically on Walt Disney World property.
Sure.
So.
And you mentioned it is a good neighbor resort hotel. Early
Yeah,
entry.
I think that
assuming.
30 minutes, you get the 30
Mm.
minutes
Okay.
early entry. And they do have their own bus transportation.
Mhm.
I don't know how close it gets you to the park. Sometimes the hotels only take you to the Ticket and Transportation Center on some of the Good
Got
Neighbor
you.
hotels.
It's good to know.
I am
Yeah.
not sure
Mhm.
if they have buses that go beyond just Ticket and Transportation Center.
Okay.
So, the next one, this is definitely on Disney property, but I think sometimes it can get overlooked relatively easily. And
Mhm.
this is the Swan and Dolphin. So you're only 5 miles from Magic Kingdom. You're walking distance to Epcot. You're walking distance to the studios.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of good food here. So if maybe you're in a situation where you're doing a last minute trip and you don't have any of the dining reservations maybe that you thought you wanted, this is a great spot. They have Todd English's bluefin. They have Amare, which is seafood / Mediterranean. Il Molino, which is out of New York. Italian. Kimonos, which Kimonos is a karaoke bar.
Oh, wow.
So, well, it's a karaoke Japanese restaurant.
Got you.
So if you're looking for karaoke on Walt Disney World property, that's where it is. So,
Okay. Very cool.
yeah. Now I put character breakfast on here, but I did a little bit more research today, and I found out that the character breakfast is supposedly on hiatus. I think it's probably been on hiatus since COVID, and maybe they lost their agreement with Disney to
Gotcha.
have the character breakfast. But this was another situation of a non-Disney property having a character breakfast, and then of course they have a spa as well. The other thing that they have during November is they have the Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic. So I don't know, have you guys heard of that?
I've seen videos on it, and it looks phenomenal. It does look phenomenal.
So they have the food represented at that event is all of the Swan and Dolphin restaurants. They all set up booths, and they have tasting size portions at all the booths, and then they partner up with their beverage partners, the people who supply the beverage, alcohol, whether it's beer, wine, spirits. They have their own, they have their own booths set up, and so you're doing kind of like a dine around experience. It happens in November. It's 2 nights. It's like a Friday night and a Saturday night. You choose which night you want to go, or I guess if you really wanted to, you go to both.
Okay.
But it is this one is a little bit more pricey. So this is like a $200-ish ticket, and it's all you care to enjoy. So it can be worth it because it is all you care to enjoy.
Now, what about the Don Shula's? I've stayed at the Swan and Dolphin before. I stayed on the Dolphin side for a convention once for work, and we went to did go to Todd English's Bluefin. Enjoyed it. It was kind of an impromptu early dinner, and didn't anticipate exactly what it was, and we were blown away by the food we had. It was wonderful. And we yet again had never considered anything, but the Don Shula's Steakhouse, is that still there?
Yes, that's still there. I have not been to it, so I can't speak too much to it, but I hear good things about it.
It was very good. Now, the way you describe Bull and Bear, I want to jump, run, sprint, juke someone out to get there. Don Shula's Steakhouse, I can get a good steak back home comparable to that. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, what you're describing at that resort it seems like a cut above. But I digress.
Yeah, Bull and Bear. There was like when we were there, we were in a room with only 2 other tables, so it was relatively intimate. And then we had like 5 servers all helping our table, and just like the service was like it felt like cruise ship service, like good cruise ship service.
Yes.
So even beyond that, I mean, it was
we've had some my wife Emily and I we've had a couple experiences, and one that we kind of need a redo. We did get reservations, and I didn't think it was going to happen, to Victoria and Albert's.
Oh,
And we
I have
did
not
go
been
to
there
Victoria
yet.
and Albert's. Oof. Well,
Abbott and Emily didn't go either.
We went to Enchanted Rose, had a good time. I always get their seasonal old fashioned, and then we proceeded to have a couple cocktails there. And as Taylor gets burnt, and we go there and we did the wine pairing with the dinner, and did not anticipate the amount of wine that we had. And it was a celebratory dinner for my wife's birthday, and she got a little sick, and I just kind of had to go, hey, yeah, her dessert has her name on it. I'll just eat it for her. And where's your wife? Yes, I did call you. That was the same week we did the VIP tour.
Middle of dinner.
I forgot about. I mean, I remember that. Yes, I remember that.
Did you call? Did you call at the table?
I stepped away. No, I stepped.
Okay.
I mean, I am from South Carolina. I mean, what? I got to take it with me. Come on, Brian.
Emily had gone MIA when you called me.
She had gone to the rest. She had to use the powder room. She had to powder her nose. Stepped away for a brief moment.
My gosh!
And did not return because yet again, and I know because I called and I left a voicemail. The same day they called me back and said, yes, we have a reservation for blah blah blah. And this was 3 months before our vacation, our trip. We went for the Run Disney Springtime Surprise weekend. And I went, I'm nervous. I don't want them to know that I'm crap. Caller ID. They see South Carolina. No. Honestly, as soon as you get up, they rush over to your side. I feel like it's like hospice care, but the culinary hospice experience. No, as soon as you go to the restroom, the private restroom they have the harp player. She takes requests. She wouldn't play Freebird. I was very upset.
Wait, where do they have the harp player in the bathroom?
I wish.
Okay. Because that you kind of like combine that piece to the bathroom. So okay.
Abbott doesn't realize that. He doesn't even know where he was that night.
I remember it was a fun night.
So what do you remember any of the food?
I remember the Wagyu A5 beef that we had, the small little tiny little samplers that we had, but I do remember I remember at least 10 out of the 4,000 courses that we had that night. No, I remember all the courses. The dessert was phenomenal. Our server was incredible. And yet again, I admitted to him at the end of the night, I said, my wife got a little overserved. She's a little sick. I said, we did not anticipate that much wine with dinner itself.
Were you staying at the Grand?
We were staying at French Quarter. What you talking about?
How did she? What did she do? Did she stay in the powder room the whole time?
It was probably about, I'd say, a quarter of the time towards the end. She looked at me. It had been a long day. I drove. Yeah. She's well kept, Brian. She's well kept. She's my queen. She's my princess.
I just feel bad for her that she had to chill for
she did
45 minutes in the powder room.
She was relieving some stress from her daily grind as a doctor. That's what it was.
Way to leave it open-ended, Taylor. I can always count on you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
Taylor, have you been to Victoria and Albert's?
I have not. Okay. I have 2 Rugrats, and they would tear the place apart.
Yeah,
and they would try to put it back together, but it would.
I don't think that the Rugrats are even invited, right? There's an age limit.
They are not.
Right?
There is an age limit.
Yeah, no, I have not been.
Mm-hmm. No. I have not been yet either. I have not had the pleasure. But now I know that they serve a lot of wine, I guess.
They do not do the wine pairing. Do not. I repeat, look into my eyes. But no, not to derail Swan and Dolphin. But it was a great experience. We need to go round 2 without the wine pairing. But yet again, like I said, I digress. But please continue.
So do you guys drive down ever, or do you normally fly? What's your mode when you're here?
Go for it.
We've done the driving from Virginia and we've flown. We have started to like flying better because it's like that, you're there. It took us an hour to get from, we flew out of Raleigh and it took us an hour to get from Raleigh to Orlando last trip. So.
Wait, what? It only took an hour?
It only took an hour.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
It takes you about the same amount of time to get from the airport to Walt Disney World property.
I know.
Yeah, Brian, we always drive. We're only maybe 7.5 to 8 hours away, give or take with traffic. We're South Carolina, so we're not too far. We recently did you were talking about cruise ship level service. We had never done a cruise at all. And I really had never done a large cruise ship until we did the Disney Treasure. So we did the second embarkation of the Disney Treasure. In that, yet again, value. Was it expensive? Sure. But the bang for the buck, the experience we had as a family, because I could do my thing with, or I did do my own thing. Wife and I did our thing in the Haunted Mansion parlor. We would reconvene with the kids because my kids are teenage. I have a soon to be 16-year-old, 11-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And between the Oceaneer Club, between the pools, tunnel vision, trivia, the worlds of Marvel, the Casa de Coco, the copy paste Disney Wish, but at the same time different theming. That level of not just the Disney experience, but that level of service was second to none. Turn down service. Wow.
Disney Cruise Line is the best Disney product in my opinion. So that is the best Disney product. So
yeah, but please continue.
All right, so now we're gonna get into more of like kind of like some local Orlando grown stuff that is close to property. So this is Susaru. This is a Japanese restaurant. It is about 7 miles from Magic Kingdom. And it's really close to Disney Springs. It's not too far outside of Disney Springs, probably like a mile or two outside of Disney Springs. Definitely recommend this spot. This is not a sushi place, even though it said Japanese. This is more like Japanese street food, ramen bowls as well. Really fun, casual place. It's full service, so they don't do reservations. I haven't been in a while, but I know that when they open in the evenings, sometimes they have a line at the door. So you kind of have to do a little research and see what the vibe is these days. But this is definitely one where you're feeling like, okay, I'm not in Walt Disney World anymore. I'm in a more of a local spot. Lots of great attention to detail at this restaurant and good food. So
looks good.
Yeah, it's a fun spot, and like I said, it's casual, so you don't have to dress up. So,
yeah, this is very, very unfamiliar territory right here.
Yeah,
so I like this.
So this is Four Flamingos by Richard Blaze. Richard Blaze, I believe, I think he's Top Chef. He's a Top Chef. So this is actually inside the Hyatt Regency Grand Cypress, which is also just outside of Disney Springs. So you're 7 miles from Magic Kingdom, but you're only like a mile from Disney Springs. So very close to Disney property. This restaurant is probably about 4 years old at this point. This is more of a date night spot. So I would not take the kids here. Definitely more of a date night spot. But Four Flamingos, I believe the name comes from that there's 4 different varieties of flamingos in Florida. And because we have wild flamingos down south. So that is where the name comes from. And it is Florida-inspired cuisine. So you're looking at kind of like American fusion food. Been here several times. Always a nice experience. it's a vibe. The bartenders are really good here, really good cocktails.
Nice.
And I definitely recommend this. And I think Open Table, definitely you can get a reservation on Open Table.
So for me, translation, Taylor's never going.
Listen, it's not never. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Thank
okay.
you.
I'm sorry. I derail everything. My apologies.
All right, here's one that's relatively new. So you can take the kids here, Taylor. You can go to this one. This is also really close to Disney Springs. It's supposedly 7 to 8 miles from Magic Kingdom, but literally this is outside the gates of Disney Springs.
What?
And this is a bakery in 1908. Their first location was in the Mills District, just north of downtown Orlando, which has a lot of basically you can consider it kind of our Asian district. And they have opened a second location very close to Disney Springs. You can get milk teas here. You can get savory pastries here, sweet pastries. They have dim sum here as well. This is definitely like a cafe vibe here, so it's casual. It's not a sit-down full service. You order at the counter, and then they'll bring it to your table, or they'll call your order number for you to go pick it up. You can also kind of grab and go here. They have a bunch of baked goods. I could see someone maybe coming here at the beginning of their trip, grabbing some pastries for their stay and bringing it back to the hotel and just having some pastries for the stay. Super high quality, and I haven't been to this new location across from Disney Springs, but it's very close to Disney Springs. So
I love the description. The only bakery in Florida with dim sum, dumplings, and pastries. Yet again, that combination we would not imagine that going together, but they seem to make it work based on the pictures. And yet again, your description, you're selling it. Believe me.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and I'm really curious to see what this location looks like, because the location up north, just north of downtown Orlando, they had so much stuff, it was overwhelming.
Oh wow,
so,
I can handle that.
Yes. All right, so this is Simply Capri. So now we're going to the other side of property. So there's a new side or new development on the west side of property called Flamingo Crossings. And Flamingo Crossings is actually a Disney developed area. Disney has been developing it over the last 4 or 5 years. This is where the CP housing is now. So the CP housing used to be on the other side where we were talking about Disney Springs. It used to be on that side. Now it's over on the west side in Flamingo Crossings, and Simply Capri is over in Flamingo Crossing, and it is just off of Western Way. And it is Italian. Hopefully you can kind of get that from the name. And the story behind this one is, forgive me, I don't know his last name, but Nick is a gentleman that is behind this concept. And he was responsible for really developing the Italian pavilion at Epcot, the restaurant group that manages that. He was the CEO of the restaurant group that did that, as well as Maria and Enzo's Hideaway. So he is no longer with Patina Group, but this is his project. So they do have, similar to Epcot, they have Italians working here on some kind of work visa.
Oh, wow.
And so you will have Italians serving you behind the bar, etc. So they have their own kind of...
That's cool.
International program.
This is right up my alley. This is I like this.
This is just down the street from like Coronado Springs, so just off of Western Way.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. That's awesome.
Closer to like Animal Kingdom.
So,
highly recommend this place. This place is legit. Like,
oh wow,
really fresh, just fantastic.
Nice.
So. And about 7 miles from the Magic Kingdom.
It's not bad.
So we're gonna get into some things as we kind of wind down here. We're gonna get into some things and just kind of do like some quick rounds of stuff over in O-Town West, you've probably heard of these brands, but maybe you didn't know they were so close to Walt Disney World now. Like,
No
they're
clue.
so close.
Oh,
So,
you've changed my world right now. Raising Cane's is close to Disney.
so this is O-Town West. This is relatively close to Disney Springs. It's down the street from Susaru and some of those other ones that I was talking about. But if you look up O-Town West, you're going to find these. We have a White Castle that opened a few years ago around the same time as Portillo's. Portillo's is from Chicago. Have you guys had Portillo's?
I have not, but I've heard of it. Definitely heard of it.
And then we also they just opened a Dutch Bros in this area, which has become very popular. It's a coffee spot. And then, of course, Raising Cane's is over here in this area. So you are 10 miles from Magic Kingdom. You can get to Raising Cane's. So, yes.
That's what that was what I ate in college.
I'm pretty sure Raising Cane's, I'm pretty sure they stay open late. So if you wanted to hit up Raising Cane's after a park day, you can definitely do that.
So Taylor was there when the hurricane, at least, was it
it was Hurricane
before last? Or
it was Hurricane E. It was the first hurricane that the Riviera, we have DVC at the Riviera. And it was the first hurricane that the Riviera had withstood or was going through. And we did Uber Eats, and I ordered Uber Eats from 3 different places. Or I ordered one place for my mom, my wife, my mother-in-law, and it was just Wellesley at the time, I think. And
it would have been your one daughter.
And I kid you not, they got their food, and then I submitted my order. 3 different places, all 3 canceled my order.
Oh, dang.
Could have been Raising Cane's.
Could have gone to Raising Cane's. I could have, and we drove that time. That was the time we drove down. So I could have gotten in the car and just driven.
Golly. Absolutely. And there would probably not too much traffic either, because normally right before the hurricanes hit, the traffic clears and it's straight shot. So other area that we're going to talk about here in a second also has a Raising Cane. So there's like 2 Raising Canes that are in close. One's closer to Animal Kingdom, and then one is closer to like Disney Springs.
Where have you been all my life, Brian?
That's why I'm here, All right, so over on 192, this is south of Animal Kingdom. This is about 8 miles from Magic Kingdom. We just opened up a Dave's Hot Chicken. Have you guys done Dave's Hot Chicken?
No,
I've heard of it. I have not. And I'll be honest with you, you're foreshadowing this Friday. I'm going to Nashville with my wife for a long weekend, and so the hot chicken. Relax, Taylor. You can live vicariously through. I don't know how that's going to happen, but the Nashville hot chicken, I can't wait.
Yeah, Dave's is pretty good. I have not had it here locally. My mom and my sister and my sister's family is in Oklahoma, and so when I was visiting a few years ago, they had just opened a Dave's there in downtown Oklahoma City, and I've had Dave's, and it was really good. So. I'm excited to go and try. This is not our first one in Central Florida, but this one is like really close to Disney. So it's right across the street from Celebration. So if you guys are familiar with Celebration.
Yes.
And then Cava. This is more, I haven't actually ever been to Cava, but this is very popular now. It's like a Mediterranean style place. Slash like Chipotle type place. You like?
I'll be honest with you. I've never heard of it.
They have it up here a lot.
Oh, okay, nice.
A lot.
Yeah, it's growing in popularity down here. So if you need some of that kind of comfort, of something that you're familiar with or something affordable, you got that just south of property. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about is I know we've kind of been staying off of like Disney proper, but we're going Disney proper because there's some Orlando grown businesses that are at Disney Springs. Yeah. And I love the fact that Disney, obviously they want to make money, and obviously the companies that they put in Disney Springs are vetted and they know that they're going to make money, but it really makes me happy that there's Orlando grown businesses in Disney Springs. So I have a few of those here. I think I got all of them. I might not have them all, but the Polite Pig, that is part of a restaurant group that's been around in Central Florida for a while. Have you guys done the Polite Pig?
Yep.
I've never been. I am a bourbon guy. I'm not a bourbon connoisseur, but I'm a bourbon guy, and I've heard their selection is second to none.
Okay.
Their barbecue sauce is
yeah.
delicious.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You can smell it when you park. Like if you park in the lime garage, you just come down the escalator from the lime garage. I mean, it smacks you in the face, the smell of that barbecue.
Brian, I'll be honest with you. Where I'm from is the birthplace of pulled pork. Not just barbecue around Charleston, South Carolina, but which is not too far from my hometown, but the birthplace of pit smoked barbecue. And my thought is, if I'm going to go on vacation, I don't want to have something I can get back home that is revered, but I keep hearing Polite Pig is legit.
Yeah.
That's my one hang up.
It's on the Michelin Guide.
So never mind.
Yeah, so give it a shot. Give it a shot. And then we have Cilantro. It's a food truck, family-owned business. Yeah. They got contracted with Disney about 2 years ago to have their food truck there. Pretty solid. I like their stuff. Affordable option too. So if you're looking to, have that buck go a little bit further, definitely check out Cilantro. Four Rivers Cantina. So Four Rivers is barbecue. They are quite popular throughout Central Florida, but they've done kind of like a Mexican concept here. This is not my favorite, but I put it down. I wish Cantina was a little bit better. I don't love it, but they are Orlando grown. So Gideon's, everyone knows Gideon's now. I mean, they're iconic. And anyway, we have Wine Bar George.
Ooh.
Have you guys done Wine Bar George?
I have not, but I hear so many reviews about what is it, their deep fried, is it their
mac and cheese?
Thank you, mac and cheese fritters or ball. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Mac and cheese balls. Yeah. Really good. So George was at the opening day of California Grill, and he was the sommelier at the California Grill over at Contemporary. So he has worked for Disney in the past. He was sommelier for our Capitol Grill here for a while in Orlando, and he opened when Disney Springs went from downtown Disney and transformed into what it is now. He was part of that and now has a restaurant. Really good. What I like here is if you have a wine lover in your party, you can do tastings by the ounce, so you don't have to commit to a full glass. You can taste some by the ounce.
That is
and so that's super unique. Not a lot of places allow you to do that.
Not even close.
But you can.
Nice.
And then in the merchandise realm, I don't know if you know, Corksicle was born here in Central Florida, and we now have Corksicle. Not a full store, but a stand in front of what Paddlefish is the thing in that restaurant now.
Yeah.
So we are a Corksicle household. We're not a Stanley household. We are a Corksicle household here. So
see, yet again, I thought Corksicle, here it is, national brand, because they have all the licensing. We are a Stanley-ish. I still hold on to my old Yeti that I've had for way too long. And I've looked at a couple of those Corksicles, like there's that Chewbacca one that's just calling my name,
Yeah, they have some good partnerships with Marvel and Star Wars and Disney.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
So that's my list.
That's cool. That was a good list.
What are you talking about? Good list. This was your dissertation. You just got your PhD in Central Florida knowledge recommendation. You mentioned that you were a concierge at the Polynesian. You are underselling yourself, sir. You are underselling yourself. That list was incredible, incredibly detailed. You took us. I'm literally. It was an experience for me, and I'm not a person. I'm good with flowery language, pretty good with, just kind of like buttering up people, so to speak. But I'll tell you something, Brian. I did not, when you said that you had some visuals ahead of time, or you had prepared, because it's not like we had to like reschedule a couple times, or, kind of whatever. It is what it is. And yet again, hindsight's 2020. I'm sorry about that. But for the record, this presentation, your contribution to this episode is second to none. That was absolute first class. Thank you, sir.
Well, I'm glad I could share. Hopefully you guys, now that I know that you guys have cars down here a lot of the time.
Yes.
I know Taylor not as much now, but you guys got to check out some of the spots and take advantage of Uber or Lyft as well. And I think that as you continue to visit Central Florida, you kind of, and the parks, sometimes the progression for people is, okay, what else is there to do during my trip? And what else am I missing? I'm coming to this location. There's more than just the parks. So hopefully this kind of opens people's eyes to that there is more to do. Yes, you could go to the beaches, which are great, but there's also some Central Florida stuff, and some great food that, Disney has pretty good food. The parks can have good food, but sometimes we want a little bit more, and hopefully this list helps with that.
Well, I'm ready to move to Central Orlando.
Yeah, we've talked. Yeah, we've talked about
this. Here I come. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what Orlando has to offer. There's so many neighborhoods now, districts, and we really have a super strong foodie scene.
That's excellent. Well, Brian, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
It is time not wasted. It is time contributed, and we cannot thank you enough. I know I speak for Taylor, and of course I'm speaking for myself. Thank you for just bestowing all of your knowledge. First class. There's no other way to put it. That was cream of the crop right there. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. And we hope to have you back again real soon. But please check out Brian Tracks on YouTube. We will put all of your links in our description. We are going to give you endless shout outs pretty much every day from now on to the end of time. We want to ride your coattails. We're now officially we're attached to you. We're no longer leaving your side. When you wake up, hey, Brian, what are we doing today? Not so much. But no, Brian, thank you for your time, my friend. We appreciate it. We hope to have you back on in the near future.
Thank you. Definitely. We'll be happy to come on, and whatever topic you want to talk about, I can talk.
Cool. Well, hey, Brian, thank you. And so for Disney Dude Abbott and
Disney Dude Taylor,
that's a wrap.
The Disney Dude podcast.
I botched it, but well.
It's all right.
I ruined it. Okay, we're just going to stop recording. Okay, but Brian, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.